Hello, welcome to Wednesday workshop. Well, I was challenged last time. My husband said that the bread I made wasn't the simplest of all. Today I am making the simplest bread of all, which is called, it's called carta di musica, or also Pane carasau, that comes from Sardinia. So to start with, I've got 250 grams of grano duro di semola, also known as semolina, 1.5 teaspoons of Maldon sea salt. Give that a really good mix as per before, and no oil this time, just fresh yeast, which I really love. As you know, I've got 5 grams here and I'm slackening it in body temperature water, which is 37 degrees C, and into that rabbit hole it's wanting to stay behind. So all goes in. Use a digit. If you use metal, it tends to stick to the metal, so use a finger if you can. And then I'm going to add more liquid just to make a nice soft dough. We call it in the trade a raggy dough, not too wet and not too dry. If it's very dry, the end result is very dry and unmanageable dough. If it's very wet, then you're adding too much flour, which will change the ratios massively. And as you know, Lucy, who's doing the filming, my friend Lucy from Zulu Cow, that if you remember, I love kneading with all my heart and soul. I find it so therapeutic. It opens up your heart and your lungs, and all the tension that you hold inside is released. Now that does need a bit more liquid, so I'm just going over to the tap and getting a bit more body temperature. And next stage will be just a little bit more, always degree by degree. My secret really is not plonking all the water in at once, just little bit by little bit, and it's still a bit dry, just tiny. It's patience, which I actually don't have an awful lot of, but I think a lot of people will agree. And a little by little, tiny bit more, and then you have a beautiful soft dough to work with. I've had 2 very happy holidays in Sardinia, and one of my students said the other day, well, it's just like the Caribbean, but it's closer, and I would strongly agree. It's beautiful, and this bread forms many meals for the shepherds that are tending the flocks, and they eat this, wafting the breads onto their flames at night, and eating it with honey and cheese to warm up the bread, and it really is absolutely divine. And I think it forms a great centerpiece, and rather dramatic centerpiece, for your table. As you know, in Italy, no table is complete without bread, and this certainly, I'm hoping, will become one of your very regular breads that you will enjoy making time and time again. So, a little tidy up, and the kneading begins. So, bit of flour over the top. I liken the flour to the Dolomites, the mountains where I teach, and knead away. The 4 different methods of kneading. I'm really enjoying this whole process. Had a busy day, and now I'm making the bread. I feel on top of the world, and I hope everybody else will like and enjoy doing this as much as I do. And then again, the hard kneading. So this is your 2 feet are grounded and feel firm on your kitchen floor, and then you're crossing your wrists over in a heart. And then again, this is number 3, slap and fold. This is the day when things go wrong. Plumbing goes wrong, dishwasher breaks, etc. And then the next method is the folding, rolling and folding, rolling it and folding it. And the texture of semolina bread is smooth, smooth on the outside, and then firm and crispy and crunchy on the inside. It's very good. I also make pasta with this particular semolina. I really heavily enjoy it. I think it's absolutely magnificent. I really meant to say heavily endorse this flour. It is superb. And I like the crunch that it has for the carta di musica. I really like it a lot. So, leave it. After 10 minutes of vigorous kneading, back into a bowl, clean bowl, cover with damp cloth, And I'm just going to show you the risen dough, Lucy. Oh, I'm just going to put it here. So this is really nice. It's risen after about an hour. And knock it back. I don't want to waste a morsel. And, oh yes, it's lovely and warm. So make sure your kitchen is warm enough for it to rise. If it's very, very cold, the dough will become retarded. I would say anything above 20 degrees. 28 would be maximum. 20, anything above would be ideal for the bread to rise. Now, I've re-kneaded the dough. It's returned to its original size. And the next stage is to, in fact, cut into small pieces that are going to be rolled and baked in the oven. So it's really, really, really rather quick. Around our busy lives, this is doable, without a doubt. You'll make about 8. If you want to be very, very precise, then I would say to you, put them on the scales. If I was in the restaurant right now, then definitely we'd have to put them on the scales, scale them all up, and then just with my eyes now, I feel that they're more or less accurate, and then I'm going to roll them out. So, a little tidy up, bit of housework, and then I'm going to start one by one. 2 to a tray, and in a nice hot oven. Most bread likes 200 degrees centigrade, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6, and get your little balls, just form them like so. So fingers into the center, into the center, into the center, and then roll, and then release. Oh, that one looks a bit too big. Never mind, I'll just do 2 to start with, and then you can see what you think. Plenty of semolina. If it starts to stick, use your dough scraper to release. Quite a lot of snow at this particular point. And there will be about 8 centimeters in diameter. And I would say, getting there, you're supposed to be able to read music. So I'm getting to that point in a moment. It gets lovely and skinny. And this is easy. I'm making it look harder than it really is. It really, really is. I'm just so excited to make this bread because it is delicious. Okay, so that's nice and skinny. See the colour of my flesh through the dough itself and onto a baking tray, which is lined with parchment paper, and a little semolina onto the baking parchment tray. Next one. I'll just do 2, Lucy, because I've made a few. I've made quite a few more, so I think I don't want to make it too laborious for everybody watching. I hope people are watching.
Yes, they are. Fascinating.
Well, I think it's fun, and the history is interesting. That the shepherds,
yeah,
yes.
I love that.
And then they would have this for breakfast, almost like cornflakes. So they'd crumble it up and have honey. Ooh. They'd have ricotta. Ooh. You can imagine how delicious. Or they can even Stefano, where I work at Caldese last night, said, "Well, we make lasagna with it, so layer it up like pasta." Oh. Can you imagine how delicious that would be? So in they go, nice hot oven for 10 minutes. Don't look in my oven, it's dirty.
It's not.
It is, it's pretty grubby in there. So 10 minutes time, they will be ready. And they'll be crispy and crunchy, and then we'll anoint with I've got some lovely grassy oil and some salt. Lucy, look, they're ready. All 8 carte di musica. So the best thing to do, and you're supposed to smash it with your fist, is to anoint.
They're not what I expected at all, Ursula.
What did you expect them to be?
I don't know. Not as fluffy, as airy.
And I love this very much indeed. And then we put salt. And you can actually put sort of salamis and ricotta, olives around the plate, and serve them to your friends. And actually, I think you should do this. Do you want to smash with your fist, Lucy?
Oh, okay.
And it makes a really crunchy sound. Yay!
Oh.
And then enjoy.
Yum.
Thank you for listening, everybody. And I hope you're going to make this as soon as possible. And delve in, dive in and devour. Thank you.